Oh, oh. Well, this is really. Hello, everyone. Tika, I'm sorry. Oh no, you don't want a butt in your face. They absolutely love the tripod. They're obsessed, completely obsessed with it. So, it's probably going to go flying multiple times in this video, which I apologise for. Also, I just wanted to show. Look what I made. I did. It's a bit annoying how it's slightly longer here. That's a little bit annoying. It shouldn't be, but I'm quite pleased with that. I will say it was the most mind-numbingly boring process, like wrapping the string all around the rope. But it was one of those weird things where I don't know. It was irritating the entire time, but I still just kept doing it. I was like, oh, I just want to do this. This is just weird. It's annoying me, but I'm very determined to finish it. And I'm also not sure now what I'm going to do with it. Cats like it. Oh, don't put your toy on there. The cats really like it, but other than that, I'm not sure. Maybe as a wall hanging. It's quite pretty. It's a bit. Oh, Tika. Sorry. Anyway, today's video, I want to just talk to you quickly about an analogy that I think is really powerful. And I think it's particularly powerful if you are at the point of recovery where you are experiencing extreme hunger or very high levels of hunger, be that physical or mental. And it's quite a simple analogy. Oh, Tika, please. Please, 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 please. Stop doing that. It's quite a simple analogy, but I think that it's one that is really quite powerful as a grounder and as an insight into what is going on and why your brain feels so completely obsessed with food, and why food feels like the number one thing and it's all that you can think about, and why actually that is completely right and proper and normal and is something that you need to lean into, not fear. And this analogy is really simple. I want you to imagine that you are underwater, holding your breath. And you're holding your breath, and you're holding your breath, and you're holding your breath, and you're holding your breath. And as you hold your breath, increasingly, you notice that all the other thoughts that are going on in your head, they just sort of go away, and you just end up focusing entirely on the fact that increasingly you are needing and wanting to break the surface for oxygen. And you're holding your breath and you're holding your breath, and it's getting to that point where you think, and literally all that you are thinking about is about breathing. That's all it is. There's nothing else going on in your brain except for that. And then what happens is you break through the surface and you take a huge gulp of air and you take big, big breaths. And in that moment, you are also completely focused on breathing. There's nothing else in your mind. You don't break through the surface and instantly start thinking, oh, where are my friends? And oh, what am I doing? And how long did that person hold their breath for? Whatever it is. I don't know how many people did that game where you try and hold your breath underwater, but even if you didn't, I hope this is an analogy you can try and envisage. You don't think about all those things. In that moment, again, all you are thinking about is breathing. And all of your body is just full speed at get oxygen. Get oxygen. That's all you're thinking about, the breathing. And your breathing is really elevated. You're taking big breaths. They're rapid. And then what happens? Very, very naturally, without you having to input or micromanage or make conscious effort to change, your breath starts to regulate. And your brain gradually goes from being completely and utterly obsessed with breathing and thinking about air and how good it was to come up from the underwater, to very naturally starting to think, oh, where are my friends? And what's the way out of this pool? And what's going on? And that's a process that's natural. Like I said, you don't have to micromanage it. You don't have to force it. You don't have to choose. You don't have to tell yourself, hey, stop thinking about breathing. Start thinking about your friends. You don't have to do that. Your body naturally shifts away from its focus on air and oxygen and breathing to its focus on everything else in life. And you just move on. And now, with that analogy, I want you to take that physiological, biological response to the restriction of something that is crucial for survival, and I want you to reflect that onto where you're at right now in your recovery journey. coming out of an energy deficit, coming away from a period of restriction. And right now, your body is in that place. If you have broken the surface, aka you have started eating without restriction, it may well feel like you are more obsessed with food than when you were under the surface. That's fine. That's normal. It's how it should be. This is the part where your body is gasping and gulping for air because it needs it. It needs it. And if you are somebody who is about to break the surface, teetering on the edge, just under there, and feeling like their hunger is this enormous snowball just building momentum behind you and it becomes this great big frightening thing, it's not. That feeling of, I could just eat forever, that is that natural physiological drive for the thing that your body needs in order to survive. And when you break through that surface, yes, you're going to gulp and gasp there. You're going to eat lots of food. You are going to have very high levels of hunger. But it's not forever. Now imagine in that scenario when you'd underwater for a while, you were holding your breath and you'd come up and you were taking those great big breaths. Imagine someone just came up and tapped you on the shoulder and said, are you not concerned that you're going to breathe like this forever? In that moment, you'd think, no, not at all. No, I'm just breathing like this because I've been underwater. And if they then said, oh, but that person over there, they're not breathing like you. You'd say, well, no, they've not been underwater. They were just sat on a lounger reading their magazine, having a nice time. I was underwater. That's why I'm breathing like this. And you would know that that is the truth and that is the reality. And that's what I want you to do to your eating disorder. With all of its nonsense around, you can't trust your body, you can't trust your hunger, this is going to go on forever, this is more than that person's doing, or that person's doing, or whatever it is. I want you to reflect this onto your response to your eating disorder. And see it just in the same way that if you had been underwater and you'd come to the surface and you'd been gulping and gasping for air, and someone tapped you and said, oh, you're not worried this is going to go on forever? You'd think, no. I want you to reflect that very same reality onto your eating disorder, because that is the truth. The you who honours your hunger, who feasts, who allows your body to get out of energy deficit. Oh, thank you. Just like in that scenario with the air, where very gradually and normally and naturally and without any conscious effort or micromanagement on your part, you're going to just naturally start to breathe. Your heart rate will slow down, your breath rate will slow down, your breathing will return to your normal. That is what will happen with your eating, with your hunger levels, with your fullness cues. That is what will happen. Normally, naturally, organically, without micromanagement, without your conscious input. That is what will naturally happen. But you have to allow your body to do the eating in order to get there. You know, in that scenario, if you were to come out of the water, you'd take a big gasp and then someone was to suddenly put your head back underwater again. That's not going to stop you from being completely obsessed with air and oxygen. In fact, if anything, it's just going to intensify it. And if you were to come out again and take 2 breaths and then back down again, plunge back underwater, all that is going to do is send incredibly strong messages of stress to your body. And it's going to make you think and be far more intensely focused on getting the thing that you need. On that scenario, it'd be air. That's all you'd be thinking about. Oh my goodness, where is it? Why is it coming and then going, and what's happening? That's what happens when you honour your hunger for a day and then you start restricting again. And you wonder why this snowball, this hunger, feels like it is building up behind you and it's this frightening thing and you think it's just going to take me out. It's because your body is going, we need it. We need this food. Why are you sending us these mixed messages? We need it, we need it, we need it. Why is it coming and going? What's happening? Why is this? It's stressful. It's incredibly stressful. Whereas actually what you need to do is allow your body to do what it needs to do to get completely out of energy deficit. And for anyone who's watching this and thinking, oh, but I'm weight restored. Like, 1, according to who? Because your body is the only thing on this planet that really truly knows when it is weight restored. 2, okay, so what? Weight restoration is one small part of this process. There's also getting out of energy deficit, which is a much bigger process and requires a lot of energy to do all the healing through your entire system that needs to be done to completely and utterly physically restore. That is what true nutritional rehabilitation is. So next time you find yourself judging your hunger, engaging in the worries that your eating disorder tries to feed you regarding your hunger, I really want you to come back and remember this analogy and know that it's right and proper that right now your body is 100% focused on food, and what you need to do is listen to it. Your hunger is not the enemy, and the you who honours it, who eats without restriction, who trusts your body. Even if you don't feel like you trust your body, you act like you trust your body. That you will get to the place where your hunger normalizes. Trust the process, listen to your body, and honour your hunger. You've got this.